You've heard the rumors, you've seen the headlines. But what if I told you the California dream is unraveling in real time? Why are people packing up and leaving the Golden State in droves? And what does it say about America's future? The truth behind California's mass exodus is deeper than you think, and more urgent than ever. California, once the crown jewel of the American dream. Beaches, Hollywood, Silicon Valley, opportunity, diversity, sunshine. But now, moving trucks are lining the streets. U-Haul prices to leave the state are skyrocketing. And the middle class? They're vanishing, driven out by forces most politicians won't dare acknowledge. In today's video, we're going deep into the mass exodus from California. What's really driving it, who's leaving, where they're going, and what this shift means not just for California, but for the nation. Let's rewind. In the post-World War II era, California represented a promise. It wasn't just a state, it was a state of mind. A place where you could start fresh, where the future was always being built through innovation, culture, and freedom. But over the past 2 decades, that vision has dimmed, and now it's unraveling. Let's talk numbers. In 2020 alone, more than 650,000 people left California. By 2023, the net population loss stood at over 1.2 million. And this isn't just retirees chasing warmer weather in Arizona. It's families, young professionals, entrepreneurs, teachers, police officers, nurses, people who once built their lives here, now forced to abandon it. Why? The cost of living has become unbearable. California has some of the highest housing prices in the nation. The median home price in San Francisco hovers around $1.3 million. In Los Angeles, it's over $900,000. Rent for a modest 1-bedroom can easily exceed $3,000 per month. These numbers are not just statistics, they're eviction notices for middle-class families. It's no longer about affording luxury, it's about affording survival. Working 2 jobs? Still not enough. Saving for a down payment? Forget it. The cost of groceries, gas, electricity, water, it's all surging. The American dream in California now comes with a 6-figure price tag just to get by. Taxes are crushing households and businesses. California ranks among the top 5 highest taxed states in America. A 13.3% top income tax rate. Among the highest sales taxes. Even gasoline is taxed more aggressively than nearly anywhere else in the country. For many residents, it feels like the state penalizes success. Entrepreneurs are moving their LLCs to Texas and Florida. Retirees are taking their pensions elsewhere. And high-income earners, once the engine of California's economy, are setting up shop in more tax-friendly zones. This isn't political rhetoric, it's economic survival. Homelessness and crime are spiraling. Let's be real. Walk through parts of Los Angeles or San Francisco and you'll see entire blocks lined with tents. Human suffering has become a daily backdrop to tech wealth and gentrified neighborhoods. California has the highest homeless population in the country, over 170,000. And it's not just visible, it's growing. Despite billions in state funding, the problem has worsened. Public safety. It's become a concern even in affluent areas. Smash-and-grab robberies, open-air drug use, and property crime have left many residents feeling abandoned by the very cities they once loved. Business unfriendliness is driving employers away. Companies large and small are relocating. Tesla moved its HQ to Texas. Oracle? Gone. Hewlett-Packard, Charles Schwab, and dozens more have followed suit. Why? Regulatory red tape. Endless bureaucracy, high taxes, and an environment that increasingly feels hostile to innovation. When businesses leave, jobs leave, and when jobs leave, so do families. Political gridlock and overregulation. Many Californians feel like their voices are drowned out in a state government that's massive, slow-moving, and disconnected. Laws are passed with good intentions but disastrous effects. Building permits take years. Environmental regulations, while important, can block affordable housing projects for decades. And during COVID, many felt the restrictions were too extreme, too prolonged, and not based in reality. For a state that prides itself on freedom, many felt locked down, physically and ideologically. Let's take a drive, figuratively, from Northern California down to the southern border. You'll see the signs everywhere. Empty storefronts, for sale signs in neighborhoods that used to have bidding wars. Strip malls with more vacancies than open doors, and yet, more people than ever sleeping in tents under overpasses. This isn't just a downturn, it's a cultural shift, a collapse of livability for millions of residents who once believed in the California promise. Let's talk about quality of life, because that's really what's on the line here. You see, the core issue isn't just economic, it's existential. People aren't just fleeing high prices, they're fleeing the feeling that no matter how hard they work, they're stuck. The California dream used to mean upward mobility. Now, it means surviving paycheck to paycheck, sharing a home with roommates in your 30s, and never owning property unless you inherit it. Take the public education system. Once a national model, California's schools now rank among the bottom third in the country. Despite one of the highest per-pupil spending rates in the US, the outcomes just aren't there. Teachers are underpaid and overburdened, students lack access to basics, and families with means are fleeing to private schools, or other states entirely. Then there's healthcare. Emergency rooms overwhelmed, mental health services stretched to the brink. If you're middle class, you're stuck between poor access and private premiums you can't afford. Even infrastructure is breaking down. From cracked roads to overloaded power grids to crumbling water systems, California's physical foundation is eroding while tech billionaires plan their next AI launch. And when you call the police in some areas, they're so understaffed that they might not come at all. It's not fear-mongering. It's daily life in some zip codes. Here's the kicker. It's not just the ultra-wealthy or the very poor who are leaving. It's the middle class. The school teachers, first responders, small business owners, electricians, nurses, the backbone of California's economy. They're tired of feeling punished for trying to build a life. In the 1990s, a couple with 2 incomes could buy a starter home in the suburbs, raise a family, send their kids to public schools, and retire decently. In 2025, that same couple, even with a 6-figure household income, might still be renting, drowning in student debt, and unsure if they'll ever retire at all. The idea of making it in California has become more about optics than reality, and people are waking up to that lie. Where are Californians going? So where do you go when the dream dies? You go to Texas, where the median home price is half of San Diego's. You go to Florida, where there's no state income tax. You go to Arizona, Nevada, Tennessee, Idaho, Utah, anywhere that feels more affordable, more manageable, and frankly, more livable. Just look at U-Haul pricing. It's significantly more expensive to rent a truck leaving California than one entering. That's not just supply and demand. That's a reflection of movement, of desperation, of transition. In cities like Austin, Boise, and Nashville, you'll find entire neighborhoods of former Californians. They've brought their work ethic, their culture, their families, and left behind their California license plates. And it's not just individuals. Businesses, too, are flocking to these states in record numbers. Because when regulation suffocates innovation, entrepreneurs will go where they can breathe. There's another reason people are fleeing, and it's less tangible but equally important. Cultural burnout. In California, people are tired. Tired of the performative politics. Tired of the outrage culture. Tired of trying to balance endless progressivism with real-world practicality. It's not that people don't care about equity or climate change or inclusivity. They do. But many feel that in the process, they've lost the ability to simply live, to raise a family, to walk downtown without fear, to start a small business without 15 permits, to speak their mind without being branded as part of the problem. Some residents say they feel ideologically homeless, trapped between the extremes with no voice in the middle. And in a state as large and diverse as California, that alienation is pushing people away. The data confirms the trend isn't slowing. In the last quarter alone, Los Angeles lost another 37,000 residents. San Francisco lost nearly 30,000, many of them tech workers no longer tethered to physical offices. A growing number of school districts are reporting declining enrollment, forcing closures and budget cuts. Meanwhile, California's lawmakers are proposing new exit taxes. Yes, taxes on residents who move out of state. Critics say it's a desperate attempt to stop the bleeding. Supporters claim it's about fairness. And just last month, a proposal was floated to tax unrealized gains, essentially taxing the potential profits of assets people haven't even sold yet. It's policies like these that make residents feel like escape isn't just logical, it's necessary. Let me tell you a true story. Jessica and Mark were both born in Orange County, high school sweethearts. She became a nurse. He ran a small construction company. They raised 2 kids, loved Disneyland, spent weekends at the beach, paid their taxes, did everything right. In 2022, their rent was $3,400. By 2024, it hit $400. They couldn't afford to buy, even after saving for 10 years. Gas was $6.49. Groceries were more than their car payment. Their apartment complex had security issues, and the schools were going downhill. So in January 2025, they left, packed a U-Haul, moved to Boise, Idaho. Today, they own a home. Their kids bike to school. They're saving money. And they feel, for the first time in years, hope. Not everyone wants to leave, but more and more are deciding they have to. The California dream isn't dead, but it's moving. And maybe, just maybe, it's being reborn somewhere else. So is California still the land of opportunity or a cautionary tale? Let us know in the comments. Are you thinking of leaving or staying and fighting for change? Either way, this conversation matters, because what happens in California often spreads to the rest of America. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. This is more than a state migration. It's a national shift, and we're just getting started. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself and see you in the next video.